Leo, if you've been feeling pulled between responsibility and enjoyment, this message is for you. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your March monthly tarot reading. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss your spiritual guidance. This month is about making wise choices, especially around money, commitments, and who deserves your energy. Stick around, my friends, and we'll see what the cards have in store. Hey there, beautiful Leo souls. Welcome to your general intuitive tarot reading for the month of March. Apologies for my voice. It is still not back to normal. I'm still suffering with my cold. So I will just ask for your patience, and I apologize in advance if you're coughing in the video. Hopefully you'll be able to hear my words and the messages clearly. I hope February wasn't too tough on you. Definitely was rock and roll energy. It beat me up, beat me really up, and hopefully it didn't beat you up too much. Already asked for blessings for this reading, so let's just take out all the cards, and then we'll connect to the energies. All right, Leo. Okay, let's see what you have here. You have the Devil, you have the High Priestess, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Wands. Your overarching energy, or the theme of your month, is the Four of Wands, and behind it is the Lovers. Very interesting. Okay, so this is start with the bottom of the deck, the Four of Wands. I want to start by saying Four of Wands is usually a card of stability, all right? And it's about setting reliable foundations. Now, if you are in that situation, sometimes the Four of Wands is about marriage. Okay, so you could be in a marriage, you could be thinking about getting married. I say that specifically because you also have this Lover's card here behind, and my guides told me to look. Okay, normally I don't always look at the card behind the bottom of the deck card, but they told me to look, so it was significant. Okay, so I feel like for somebody there could be potential of marriage involved here, or getting married. All right, I'm getting a lot of messages as it relates to that. So if that's your case, fantastic. If that's not your case, then this is really about finding stable ground for yourself. All right. You know, this also could be about socializing. getting together. I mean, you have the Six of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups, you have that Four of Wands. You know, those three cards alone could be just saying, oh, you're having a wonderful time and feeling stable. You also have, like, I don't know, four court cards on here. You have the Queen of Pentacles, King and Queen of Swords, divine couple there, and the King of Cups. So you could be just doing some socializing. This could be about the people that will attend your wedding or people that are going to be in your wedding. Okay, so I feel like there is just sort of like a crux of the universe wanting you to be aware that you know, this is where you're going to find your stable ground in all that's going on there. All right. So, you know, this could be for some of you financial stability. Now, if you are thinking about getting married, okay, obviously that costs a bit of money. But anyway, let's continue on here. Okay. I think that, you know, if you are spending money, whether it's, you know, a wedding or not, you could be just wanting to spend money on your loved ones, right? And to show them how much you care for them and wanting to treat them. Okay, that's another message that I'm getting here. So you could be buying gifts. You could be taking care of people by taking them out for drinks or dinners or lunches. You know, these are, you know, expenses that, you know, they don't increase your financial wealth, but they benefit you from social type of wealth, if you will. Builds your social relationships with people. Okay, so maybe if it's business for you and you're taking a bunch of clients to lunch or something like that and spending money on them, that could be very possible as well in this month. But it's definitely a month of you finding stability. Okay, now you start in the very first week with the Devil clarified by Justice card and the Ace of Swords. So some of you are definitely going to feel tied to material pressures, maybe some obligations, expectations around responsibility, maybe expectations around money. Again, if we go back to if you're thinking about getting married or spending money on a wedding, right? You know, that's again a possibility because you have the Justice card there. Justice is about legal, so marriage is a legally binding contract, right? And you know, you could be signing a marriage license or needing the money for the license or realizing how much this is going to cost you. You know, somebody might be finalizing their divorce because they want to get married. And so you need to take care of those responsibilities first and foremost. Whatever this is for you with that Devil card, you're trying to reclaim your power. You're trying to reclaim, you know, your domain, so to speak, in that Ace of Swords. You're trying to get some clarity of mind. You're trying to cut out whatever is no good for you anymore or is not working for you anymore. And you're trying to get back to taking command, all right, with your money, potentially with money, but it could also be with, you know, who you want to spend your time with or what have you. But I just feel this is more financially related because I'm getting a lot of messages as somebody's wedding, somebody's spending money on a wedding. Okay, now if that's not your case, I'm just going to go back here a little bit and let me double back a bit here and say that it's the Devil could be for some of you. There's a sense that it's like an obligation that you have to show up, you have to provide, or you have to maintain a certain lifestyle. Okay, so you could be feeling that kind of pressure. Again, that puts pressure on you financially, or it could just be mental pressure, right? Or emotional pressure. Okay, but I do feel because of that justice, there's definitely something legal here. That's why I say it could be signing a marriage contract, a prenup, it could be finalizing a divorce, it could be signing contracts for a business, but I'm not feeling that so much business wise. But whatever this signing is of this documentation, it's all toward that stability of the Four of Wands. Okay. Now, some of you, as I said, if this is putting a financial strain on you, maybe it's just that you're feeling that your budget has holes in it and you need to fix that. Okay. Because maybe you're just feeling bound to some kind of financial commitments and you just feel like, it's slipping out of your fingers faster than you can, have it in your hands. So, you may feel pressure that way, okay? And you're feeling pressure to keep everybody happy, to keep the family situation stable, all right? In the second week, we get into the High Priestess, clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. The High Priestess is our internal compass. The High Priestess is those signs, those things we hear, those little things that, when you see 1111 flashing all the time, or you're seeing, feathers all over the place, or you're seeing rainbows all over the place. These are signs, right? And it's signs from the universe, and it's advising you of something. Now, in this case, it's telling you stop and check with your intuition, because that is what your internal compass is, okay? And to check in with your internal compass before you start reacting to any external pressures. So if you are feeling pressure in that first week, now is the time to check in with the High Priestess. Now, what I love is the Queen of Pentacles. She's no slouch, okay? Not for me as a reader. This is a very meticulous person. This is somebody who does their due diligence. The King of Swords is also somebody who does his due diligence. They do them in very different ways. The Queen of Pentacles takes care of the details. The King of Swords gets all the facts. So does the Queen of Swords, by the way. So it's definitely getting together all the data and then taking care of the details to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So if you have all of that and you've done all your due diligence, then, and you're listening to your gut, then, you should be able to have that reassurance that you're not going to react to the pressure just on the fly. Okay. Now, I'm getting a message here right away, so let me give it to whoever needs to hear it. Not every expectation requires an immediate yes, or not every question either needs an immediate yes, okay? Not every invitation needs an immediate response, okay? Not every financial decision needs to be justified out loud, all right? Take it how it resonates. I don't know who that's for, but I have to give it when I get the messages. I do feel that once you've got this data and you know what you're doing with it and you know how you're going to apply it and your gut has kept you on the right track, I do feel like there's an aggressive approach to doing something, okay? Whatever that, again, take it how it resonates. If it's to do with your budget, the finances, the spending of this money that you might be doing, what have you. But just make sure, because you have this king and queen here, I would just say, okay, and this ace, you see, you sort of have three swords here in this row here. I would just say that just practice some discernment, okay, when it comes to money. Listen to your gut about who is and what is worth investing in, okay? And always, the discernment will sort of guide you on not going overboard on anything. So as long as you are doing something within your means, whether that's, finances, but could also be just your energy, your own personal energy, those are resources, right? Okay, so, as long as you're staying within your means, then you can continue to treat people around you. You come into this third week, beautiful energy, 10 of Cups, clarified by 9 of Cups. and the Queen of Swords. Still using your discernment, I feel, but coming into a much better place, because 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, that's a leveling up of happiness, that is for sure. 10 of Cups confirms that, you know, you're coming from a very genuine place of love, a genuine place of happiness, and definitely feeling some fulfillment here in this third week. I feel like you want to share your abundance. Maybe you didn't in the first week, maybe in the second week you questioned it, but in the third week now you know what is worth it and what isn't, and you want to share your abundance, whether that's through gifting things to people, whether that's through hosting people, whether that's through celebrating, or simply being, present with loved ones. Okay, I feel like if you were getting married, I'm going to go back to the marriage thing because I'm getting another message. So again, I have to give it. I feel like perhaps in this third and fourth week, maybe you have your, your ceremony, and then you're doing the honeymoon thing, okay? Or you're thinking about the honeymoon during the month, the last 2 weeks of the month, and planning it or prepping for it financially, okay? And again, you're maybe doing the budget for the wedding and the honeymoon, or both, right? So I do, or for some of you, it could be planning a second honeymoon, by the way. It doesn't have to be just your first. But I do feel like there's some kind of joyous event there. Absolutely a joyous event that has brought, tying back to that Four of Wands stability and that, happiness, right? So, you might be spending money for those happy events. But again, you're still using your discernment, which I love. All right. And, it's still really important to be using your discernment, even when things have lightened up or the energy has lightened up. All right. Now you get into the last week, which is Six of Wands clarified by King of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. By thus the fourth week of the month, your balance is restored. Okay. So, for somebody, money is okay, no more worries about it being tight, or your complete opposite energy of that devil, that's for sure. Maybe somebody gets a tax break. I don't know who that message is for, but I'm feeling that. But I do feel this is really good news, whatever this is, because you have the Wheel of Fortune there, okay? And you're planning for the future. The wheel is spinning with you more, but you're certainly more balanced. King of Cups, right? Head, heart, they're on the same page. You're feeling a lot more, sort of calm because of that. And the six there says, Six of Wands says, you know, you're in victory mode. You're in more celebration mode. Yeah, you have time to celebrate, and you're feeling like you're celebrating, and you're definitely being able to be a bit more generous, if you will. Um, and just feeling more emotionally and materially sound. Six of Wands is card of victory, as I said. All right. So this is great energy. Interesting read, Leo. I'll say that. Yeah, I kind of feel like by the end of the month, you kind of learned that what you've built, or that you can build something without being trapped in it. Okay. Like you were feeling at the beginning of the month, or will be feeling at the beginning of the month of March. You really are navigating this nicely. And, you're sort of finding that balance between joy and enjoying yourself, and responsibility. Right. So let's get you an oracle card now. Let's see what other messages they want to give you. Okay, would you like to give a message to Leo? What message would that be for the month of March? What would you like to tell Leo? Ah, Daffodil Fairy. New beginnings. Lovely. Number 10. Okay. Just the same number as the Wheel of Fortune. All right, just give me a second. I'll see what the book says. Number 10. The spirit of the daffodil fairy says, it's time to start a new project or a new cycle. Life force and vitality are emerging. Release that which doesn't serve and support you. Make way for a new start. Success is at hand. Yeah, if you are getting married, you're definitely making a new start, and congratulations to you. And yeah, so that's where I'll leave your reading for today, my friends, and I hope something resonates. I'll see you again very soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.